Hi, this tutorial I want to cover two items under mesh display. I want to look at reverse and soften hardened edges. So mesh display, as you might think, and we've talked about a little bit before, has to do with how the mesh looks or how it displays. So one thing you'll notice that is if I look at this object, this wedge thing, from the bottom, my polygons are black. On the top, they're gray. Because the polygons, by nature, have a point or direction. They either point towards the camera or away from the camera. So here they're pointing towards the camera, and they have all this surface information that we might put on them. On the back side, they're black. Now, if I go to render these, in other words, if I make two-dimensional image rather from this object, if I render a picture, anything that's black like this will be invisible. It doesn't actually render when I look at it, when I make a final two-dimensional image. It's only black so in the viewport here to see. So if I want to change the direction of these normals, first, let's display them. I'll go to Display, Polygon, and we see them under Face Normals. And you can see that the line comes out in the direction that the normals are pointing. If I go to Mesh Display and I reverse, I'll go back to Object Mode here. Now my normals point inwards. So the normal face normal icon, this little line, points towards the direction that the normals face. Okay. Of course, we don't really need those to see the direction that the normals face, because if I reverse them back, then it's obvious which direction they're actually pointing in, because it's the gray or the textured or your normal non-black direction. The other thing I want to talk about in reverse, one thing before I leave reverse, a lot of times when we make an object using curves, we'll wind up with an object that's all black, that has the normals reversed. You just simply need to select it and then mesh display and reverse that object's normals. Alright, so I want to talk about soften hardened edges. So I'm going to turn off my grid, which is this icon under the S in show. So I'm going to turn off the grid because it's annoying me. So if I don't select this, you'll notice that I have a hard edge and I have an angle that's 90 degrees. So if I select, say, these two vertices, and I'm going to lessen this angle. Right, so now I have a less angle. Now you'll notice that it's still kind of hard. Let's try it again. Let's even move it up farther. Much softer, right? In fact, if I select this edge and I go to Mesh Display Soften, you can see that it's soft. And if I select it, harden, you can see that it's hard. But let's say here, I'll move this back down. Let's say I want to make everything that's less than 90 degrees soft, right? So a hard angle, something where my where I'm straight, I have a nice hard angle here, 90 degree angle, that I want to keep. But anything less than 90, I want to make soft. So I can go to Mesh Display. I've selected the mesh, and I'm going to go to Soften Hardened Edges, and I'm going to choose the Options box. And the options box just allows me to set my angle that I want. So if I select 89, enter, that's every angle less than 90 degrees, so 89 and below, and I'll soften harden. So now you'll notice that I'm going to select, I have a soft edge. And I'll keep that soft edge as long as I'm less than 90 degrees. So once I'm 90 degrees, I should make this hard. Still not 90 degrees. There we go. So something like that. Not really hard still. Let's go back and there we go. Again, if I select my vertices so you can see I'm hard edged, if I select these vertices and I make my angle less than 90 degrees, it can be softer. Less than 90 degrees. I just have to go back and soften harden edges. So I can set this angle to whatever I want. And for my object, any angle that's less than this value will be soft. Any angle that's greater than this value will be hard. I would not put this angle at anything larger than 90 degrees, really. Because you get some odd effects when you have angles greater than 90 degrees that are smooth or soft. I definitely wouldn't go above 180. That's probably too much, right? If something is all the way angled to each other. Like I said, I usually don't go below above 90 degrees here.